Let's do it.
All right, so we're going to do a base run on this 2015 XR650 L4. We do a 102.4 millimeter JE piston kit, a 42 millimeter carb kit. I'm putting 1 millimeter over intake valves in it. I'm going to open up the seats. I want to do a multi-angle, 5-angle job, valve job, and I'm going to port the cylinder head. And it's getting a 3-inch core muffler so the engine will breathe good. So this is the base run before we do this project. So it's basically 30 horsepower, 30.4 horsepower with 28 pounds of torque. This is the power curve and this is the torque curve. They both look pretty good, but you know, kind of lame. You can hear how the power comes on, you know, gradually and slow. But when this thing's modified, it should react like a, you know, more of a performance engine. Hopefully, we'll get some good numbers out. But I've done some in the past where you really don't get that big of a increase on it, but I mean 30 horsepower seems kind of low for a 650, right?
Right.
Let's see if we can get this into the 40s when we're done.
Jeff wanted to do a baseline wheelie. How was she?
Okay, so it does pretty good wheelies with 30 horsepower, but relatively slow ones. We'll see what it does when we got 45 horse. All right, folks, here we are. We just came from the dyno room. These components are still a little bit warm. I came back and whipped it right apart. What we're going to do is a multi-angle valve job on the head and install these new stainless steel 1 millimeter oversized intake valves. And I have a real nice valve grinding set where I'm going to enlarge the intake. So we're making a bigger bore, so we're going to have more volume of air flowing into the motor. And we're going to send this cam out to Megacycles in California along with these rocker arms. They're going to regrind the cam lobes and reposition them to the grind that, you know, we asked for. And the cam ends up being harder than the stock rocker arms, so they want us to send them out because they're going to harden them to make them the same hardness of the cam, so they won't wear each other out. And we're going to install this 42 millimeter Makuni guillotine flat slide carburetor. So when it's wide open, it has no butterfly in there like the stock carburetor. The stock carburetor is a constant velocity carburetor. When it's wide open, it has a big butterfly right in the middle of the bore, so it would restrict some of the airflow. The carburetors are actually the same size, but this one will flow better and make more power. And we're boring it out to 102.4 millimeters. Stock bore is 100 millimeters. And the stock piston is dished, as you can see. This one's flat. And if you look real closely right here, it sticks, the deck height is taller. This thing, stock, has let's see, I wrote it down here, 2.8 millimeters negative deck height, which means the piston stops 2.8 millimeters before the deck surface. So this is 1.8 taller, so we're only going to have 1 millimeter negative deck.
Bump the compression.
Bumps the compression up, but I'm also omitting the base gasket, so that's 20,000. So we're only going to be negative 20 thousandths in the hole when we're done. And we're installing the Cometic head gaskets, which is the exact same size as that piston, so there won't be any loss there. And I'm also going to be porting the head. I'm going to take the intake manifold off, and while I'm grinding the seats, finish up the valve job and the porting, I'm going to have a D-shaped bore porting in the head, which will help flow the air too. So yeah, and we're also installing this XR's only muffler, which has a 3-inch core competition baffle inside it. That's a spark arrestor right screen right there, which will be coming out, but this will make noise and more power, so hopefully this whole package works pretty good. We'll see the results when we're all done on the dyno, and we'll let you know.